using my content. And Patreon specifically points out that you're not allowed to do that kind of shit. You're not allowed to use their service for anything but business. And it is not considered business cyber stalking and harassment and all that. If he would have looked at the terms of service, he would have noticed that. So I'm going to take care of that. I've already emailed Patreon, and I will do that repeatedly. I have taken out 5 Patreon sites in the past where people were using it in order to do some pretty nasty shit through YouTube and then posting their YouTube videos over to that. And that not only costed the jackoffs in the past that I dealt with their channel, but also their Patreon as well. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to point out we've got a title here that's pretty hardcore. It says The End of Brett Keane. That sounds pretty rough. I've already seen this video in the past. And we're going to, let's see, let's open up something. We're going to open up something here. And 1 second, people. 1 second. Alright, here we go. This is perfect. Alright, copy that, and we're going to go here, and we are going to hit this. Promotes hatred. Now I'm going to end up coming back and reporting this thing for several different things because it violates several different deals on here. There we go. Let's make sure that you all can see that. Boom. Voila. So I will return after I've done this video and hit this thing with 10 or 20 deals, and then I'm going to go to a bunch of other videos that I've got marked in a notepad and hit that shit as hard as possible over and over and over. Now, I want to let you all know something. In the past, there was a guy that had like almost 300,000 subscribers and some other assholes, but specifically there was a guy named Coughlin, hardcore atheist, Nazi, communist type of prick. And he used to tell everybody that he had friends up in YouTube. He said, I got friends up in YouTube, ain't nobody gonna get rid of my channel. He would threaten people, he would send his subscribers to try to hustle people and let people know that they better leave his channel alone, that he's just going to continue to make videos attacking people. He would even say things on his blog TV. He would say, if anyone tries messing with me and stuff, he would threaten to take your channel down as well as go after your loved ones and anybody that you cared about. The guy was so narcissistic, he felt like he was invincible, that he was untouchable. Well, me and a few of my friends, we decided to test the waters and challenge that theory that he had, and we ended up reporting that thing for about 2 months, just every single day, and sometimes we did it even more often than usual. Sometimes we would report it up to 50 times. And then one day, we woke up, we went to visit the channel to give it some more reports, and it was gone. And since that time, Coughlin's has never reached any success. He's never went over 10,000 subscribers on any of his channels at all. We also got rid of him on advertisement. Because we reported him to advertisers and he was going through Google AdSense, he lost that and is no longer able to monetize a YouTube channel even if he were to start a new one. So he'll never get paid again. He also had a merchant account through Teespring where he was selling t-shirts that said that he likes rape. Yeah, he was selling rape t-shirts on Teespring. Well, apparently none of his subscribers ever bothered to report him because they all thought that was funny and beautiful and all that shit. So no one ever said anything. But now I see the terms of service violations on Teespring. I see the problems. I go read their rules, and what he was selling was completely against their terms of service over there in Teesprings. And I ended up reporting that, and shockingly enough, within 3 days, his entire merchant account went bye-bye. And I gotta tell you, I was tickled. The guy was a monster. He was nasty. He used to like making videos telling people they ought to kill themselves. And he would go into detailed instructions on how they should do that. You would think that it would have been a lot quicker to get rid of this channel, but apparently whenever you've got a certain amount of subscribers, you gotta hit it over and over and over. Well, there's one thing that Coughlin did not do as much as Ben has done. Coughlin didn't ever go after my kids. He did do some stupid shit about my wife, and that was unacceptable. That's what ended up sealing his thing. But Ben actually went after my son, my kids. I mean, what kind of father would just sit back and allow that? Does anyone out there really think that threatening me or talking trash to me is really going to stop me from taking down this channel? I mean, what is Ben going to do? Ben has repeatedly threatened that he would like to whip my ass. He has threatened on numerous occasions that he would like to do physical harm to me. And I invited him out for tea. Well, the time is over. I'm getting the advertisers. I'm going to look at the merchant account and see if there's anything on there that's nasty, disgusting. And I'm going to take down the YouTube account because it violates terms of service and community guidelines. And I don't care what any of the little drunken pissants say about it. It's that simple. While I'm doing that, though, this will most likely be my last video talking about this for a while. I just wanted Ben to know that we're going to test that theory if the channel's invincible or not. And there's something that's important to know here, too. If for some oddball reason that channel does not go down, or at least get some strikes in order to stop them from doing live podcasts, then I suspect we're going to have to actually handle this legally on the outside of YouTube. Because this would mean that YouTube is, if there's someone up there that Ben actually knows that it's allowing him to get away with murder, well, YouTube as well as Google can get in serious trouble for allowing this to go on. I mean, they went out of their way to make sure to get rid of conservatives and anyone that has done a lot less than a drunken peasant. If they're allowing their buddies or somebody that they like off the hook for the same thing that they get rid of many other people for less, well, then we've got a serious problem there. That means that YouTube and Google itself would be accountable and responsible for some issues. And I know what Ben's thinking. He's probably thinking, well, Brett Keane ain't got nothing. What's he going to do and all that? Well, that's the same thing that Coughlin thought. It's the same thing that hundreds of other users who kept running their mouth and acting like jackasses thought. And every one of them, I warned them. Every one of them, I was a pleasant, generous person, very charitable. I let them all know, leave me alone. Stop it. Stop it. No means no. And they didn't listen. Instead, they all talked trash. They all said, go ahead, bring it. Come on, let's see what you got. Well, sooner or later, when you screw with someone, you end up getting a bloody nose. And that's the end of the story. So we're going to do advertisers, Patreon, the merchant account, Teespring, the shirt company. We're going to do it all. Things are going to be unpleasant, very uncomfortable. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day.
C'est vrai, c'est le tableau de la course avec les abeilles qui me courent après, là. Le gros stress, pour pas me faire piquer à la scène.
God TV Radio. I hope you're all having a wonderful day.
Isabelle,
I want to start off this video by stating that I don't really have any kind of issues with the Amazing Atheist anymore. It's been quite some time since I was on the Drunken Peasants and had to deal with Paul Zigo, Scotty, Ben, and TJ Kirk. As many of you know, the Drunken Peasants ended up breaking apart, and majorly, one of the big reasons for that was because of me. I told Ben a long time ago that the podcast would not last, and I also noticed that Ben had issue with me, even though he didn't know me personally, because of some of the accusations I made towards TJ Kirk. Ben, however, ended up proving why it was that he had the issue with me. One of my accusations was that the Amazing Atheist was messing around with underage girls. Well, it turned out that Ben himself was doing exactly the same thing while at the same time being married and in a relationship with a woman. He was caught by Drunken Peasants fans, and they took pictures and they got images of him basically screwing around with the underage girls. Ben was caught doing this, he was exposed, and that is the reason why the Amazing Atheist is doing Deep Fat Pride and why Ben is doing his thing. Now, I'm talking about this today not because I'm trying to stir up drama or cause some kind of aggravation between these different groups of users. I'm talking about this because for the past many, many years, I've had people approach me in my chat rooms and on live broadcasts, constantly asking me questions about the history and the past. Brett, why are you talking about these things? Or why do you have issue with TJ Kirk? And of course, because TJ Kirk claimed that I was fibbing on him or falsely accusing him of things, they immediately, because they liked him and respected him, figured that I must be an enemy, a bad guy who is making up things. I can assure you that if you go to my BitTube channel, which is a video site that's an alternative to YouTube, I have copies and archived videos and information proving every claim that I've ever made about TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, on my site, as well as Ben, as well as Paul Zigo, and some of the other users they associate themselves with. You can go to my BitTube channel and you'll see all the evidence of the claims and things that I'm going to talk about now. Again, I'm not trying to stir shit up, I'm just telling my side of the story. That way, when people in the future ask me questions, I can give them this link to this video or audio track on BitTube, and people will know my side. And whether they believe me or not, it'll be there, and so will the information. It started out like this. I came to YouTube, I was an atheist. I encouraged other non-believers to make videos. At the time, there wasn't very many atheists talking on YouTube. There was like 5 outspoken non-believers, and I was one of them. The Amazing Atheist came into his own about a year and a half later and made repeated videos where he talked about how he respected me and how he admired me. My wife and I watched his videos obsessively. We enjoyed his content. We liked him as a person. But as we continued to support him and plug his YouTube channel, and we continued to get closer as friends, he actually had the opportunity to talk to me and my wife. We started discovering things about him that made us very uncomfortable, that bothered us. One of the things that we found out is that he worked for his father, who was a well-known criminal, a scam artist who ended up scamming a bunch of children out of their diplomas. His father literally ruined the lives of thousands of young people in something called the diploma mills, which you can look up on the internet. It's public knowledge. Thomas Kincaid is the name of his father. The scams bothered us, not just because of what his father did, but because TJ Kirk himself admitted that he actually worked for his father and was completely aware of what his father was doing to these young people. Then it got worse. Even though we were willing to say, alright, maybe TJ's different, maybe he's not the nut that falls from the tree, Maybe he's not like his father. Maybe he's trying to do something different. Maybe that was a mistake he made as a young man. We were willing to allow that to be let go. TJ Kirk started going into blogs and forums and talking about his interest in young girls. He talked a lot about how he had sexual fantasies about girls that were underage. My wife and I, we contacted him, and we said that this makes us very uncomfortable. His justification and argument for it was, what's wrong with thinking about it? What's wrong with fantasizing about it? What's wrong with masturbating to underage people if you're not actually doing anything? This explanation was not good. It was not something that me and my wife were comfortable with, and we started to kind of pull away from TJ Kirk. It made us really nervous, and one of the reasons why it made us more nervous, and I think it makes the teenagers who were watching him nervous, is because I'm a father, and of course my wife is the mother of my children. The idea that there's some older man out there who has interest in young kids makes it to where you wouldn't want somebody like that at your home. But still, deep down inside, my wife and I cared for TJ Kirk. We cared for the Amazing Atheist. We felt that his atheist videos were important, and we felt that he was intelligent and articulate. So we still stayed in contact with him, but these were major concerns of ours, and we felt that we needed better explanation or for him to talk about stopping it. There was a day when I was hanging out on Block TV watching Fake Sagan play either it was a guitar or a bass guitar, I'm not sure. And he was having a conversation on mic with the Amazing Atheist. The Amazing Atheist was in text chat. Fake Sagan asked him if he'd ever had a relationship with any underage girls. The Amazing Atheist said yes. He said that he actually had a relationship with a young girl. Fake Sagan asked how old she was, and he said that she had just turned 14 years old. Fake Sagan asked him, did you have sexual intercourse with her? The Amazing Atheist thought he was going to be edgy, and he said that he actually had sex with her, and he was in love with her, and all this kind of stuff. So now it went beyond just simply saying that he was interested and turned on by underage girls. Now he is admitting on a live broadcast in front of thousands of atheists that he did actually have sex with an underage girl. At that point, it was the end of it for me. At that point, my wife and I we'd had enough. And we ended up making videos talking about this being a serious problem. You have to understand, as a non-believer, I was making videos talking about how it is that preachers and priests rape young children, have sex with young children, and then how the churches try to hide the fact that these people are doing this or try to cover up for them. I thought that was deplorable. I thought that was disgusting. And I wasn't going to go about justifying that for an atheist whenever I'd already had a stance against religious people who did those type of things. Why would I let an atheist off the hook just because he labels himself the same thing as me? So I made videos talking about it. The Amazing Atheist lied to the audience and claimed he never said anything like that. But then myself, as well as many others, found the video, we had it recorded, and we put the clips up showing what he had done, what he had said. It wasn't but 10 to 13 years later that the Amazing Atheist finally responded to what he had done. He admitted that he did that. He admitted that he wrote that in a live broadcast to the entire world. He put it on his Tumblr. He said, yeah, I said it. He goes, I was just being stupid, though. He said, I didn't really do anything like that. I was just joking. I was trying to be edgy. I was trying to be funny. Well, you have to realize that this is 13 years after the event. So this is one of the reasons why I was brought up on the drunken peasants, and his excuse remained the same. He even admitted on Tumblr that that's what he said on a live broadcast in Drunken Peasants. He said, yeah, I said that, but I didn't really do it. The problem is, how am I supposed to know that? How is anybody who doesn't know TJ Kirk personally, or who has never been friends or has been friends, but they know if he's joking about something like that or not? To me, rape and pedophilia is not something to joke about. So when someone says they had sex with an underage kid, I don't see that as... I can't see that as funny in any kind of way. I don't see the comedy in it. I personally think that he was just covering his own ass, if you want to really know. He not only said that he did that with the underage girl, but Fake Sagan also asked him in the context of the conversation, well, what happened with her? What did you do? Basically, how did the relationship, did it continue? Did it end? And the Amazing Atheist responded in that same live broadcast with, I cared about her, I wanted to stay with her, but her father was a Marine, and if I would have remained with her, he would have killed me. Well, you've got a father who is a soldier, who finds out that an older man is having sex with his child. I can completely understand why it is the guy wanted to take the Amazing Atheist out of this world, TJ Kirk. I'm going to have to get a sip of coffee. Well, here's the thing. Due to me confronting the Amazing Atheist, even though I started out first, and the Amazing Atheist came a year and a half later, the Amazing Atheist was someone who wanted to be an entertainer. He was someone who wanted to do comedy. He was someone who wanted to be bigger than life. And he started gaining subscribers immensely. He even went beyond me. As where I had like 10,000 subscribers, he began to blow up. And one of the reasons why was because when I did like him and I was friends with him, I plugged his YouTube channel all the time. I said that he is atheism. I actually represented him as what people should look forward to whenever they look at atheism, that they should plug his YouTube channel, that they should share his videos, like him up, and that they would not be sorry. But I didn't know all that other shit until it was too late. So he ended up accumulating all my fans and subscribers, and then other people also liked him and felt like he had a lot of charisma, and they plugged his channel. And he ended up growing very quickly. He started going into 20,000 subscribers, 30, and just working his way up, and boom, boom, boom. Well, this posed a problem for me, because now I had less subscribers than him, and now he could say whatever he wants, and he had practically an entire army that was like sheep who would listen to any bullshit story that he told. And the guy told a lot of bullshit stories. One, for example, and I have it on my BitTube, you can see for yourself, is he used to tell stories about how whenever he was young, that he was molested. He told the world who was listening that he was molested. Well, one day he got drunk and he did a questionnaire video where people said, TJ, did you really get molested? And for whatever reason, he admitted that that never happened, that he simply did it for attention. And this made a lot of people pissed off, because basically what he was saying is he was pretending to be a victim of child abuse, but it never really happened to him, that he was just simply doing it so he could identify with people and also make people feel sorry for him. This was disgusting. It was horrible, because there's a lot of religious people, non-believers out there who have actually been abused. And to have someone come along and use that as their ticket or a meal ticket in order to get more views and subscribers is sick. It's disgusting. In fact, I would say almost sociopathic. Well, it didn't stop. The Amazing Atheist ended up having a lot of his buddies come after me. They ended up attacking my YouTube channels, and my YouTube channels ended up getting knocked down. There wasn't a day that went by where I wasn't getting attacked by his people because they liked him so much they didn't care that he may have had sex with a child. They didn't care because they figured he was already, their justification was, we all know that he's a disgusting person. We all know that he sticks bananas in his ass. We all know that he's this way and that way. But we understand him and we like him, so it doesn't matter what kind of immoral acts he may commit. Well, obviously that isn't going to work for me. You can't tell me someone's doing criminal behavior and bad things, and because you like them, that means they get off the hook. Well, after many videos and much time of aggravation between me and this jackass, I ended up finally saying, fuck it. And I left him alone. I stopped making videos to him. And for a long time, he stopped making videos to me. And it seemed as though we just simply went our separate ways. Well, a couple years later, after pure silence between the both of us, I got some YouTubers who came into my room and said, Brett, the Amazing Atheist is inviting you to come hang out on the Drunken Peasant Show. Apparently, the Amazing Atheist had finally decided to open up his own podcast where he would have his friends on there and his brother, and they wanted to talk. Well, when this initially happened, you have to understand, years had gone by, and I didn't have any kind of anger or wild angst against the Amazing Atheist anymore. I was like, okay, whatever. I figured, why not? I'll go on there and see what he's up to. I didn't have any intention of fighting with him or arguing with him or giving him any shit. In fact, if you watch the first clip where they talk to me, I'm like, sure, I'll come on there. I didn't ask for any money. I didn't ask for anything from them. I said I would come on the show. Well, me and him ended up talking in the background, and I told him, I don't think it'd be very interesting if I sit there for 3 hours, just me, and then all you guys. Maybe the show would be more fascinating if I invited some other people, such as True Empiricism, G-Man, and Nephilim Free. The reason why I did this is because I actually was convinced that 3 hours of just talking to me would not be very exciting or entertaining. I was being humble. I thought if we bring in more people with different theological views and ideas, that the show might be a lot more exciting compared to just me against 4 guys just having a discussion. I was also a bit concerned. Even though I didn't have anything against TJ, I also believed that it was possible that it could easily be turned into a drama and I could be getting yelled at. But until that day, I was willing to go on for free. So, as many of you know, historically, he allowed me to bring these guys on, and there was a discussion. Things got a little heated sometimes, but it was kind of chill. It just was what it was. And then I was invited again. I went on there. I didn't ask for any kind of money. I didn't ask for anything. But this time, Paul's ego ended up making a couple broadcasts before I came on again, talking some massive shit about me and going after the drama and the past historical shit. He even claimed to be some kind of historian, that I was a liar and a piece of shit, and that I twist things, blah, 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 and I was duplicitous, yada, yada, yada. So when I got on the show, obviously I realized something was, things were going fucking stupid, and I gave Paul's ego some shit. I told him that he's a liar and basically a piece of shit and all that, and we ended up getting into it, and then we all ended up getting into it. Well, because of that, a lot of people got excited. They thought the drama was really fun. They liked the whole thing where we're all going after each other. They really appreciated that. That was exciting for the audience. So TJ Kirk and his drunken websites, they ended up asking, who would you like to see on the show? And the audience wanted another round of Brett Keane and the Amazing Atheist and blah, blah, blah. That's what they wanted. That's what they were paying for. So the Amazing Atheist got a hold of me on Twitter, and he said, dude, we'd like to have you back on the show. The last one was really popular. We don't have any real hatred towards you or anything. We just want to be able to have a popular show. And I told him, I said, look, I don't mind coming on the show, but I don't want any of my loved ones being attacked. If you want to come after me and shit and you want to make your show popular, fine. I don't mind being the brunt of a joke. I'm open-minded enough to allow my friends or people out there that I may have some amount of respect for to have a good time at my expense if it will actually bring them views and popularity. Don't mind that. However, when I got on the show, they ended up bringing in my wife and bringing in my people that I love and care about whenever I specifically told them not to. And that is the reason why any other shows after that I was invited to, I required to be paid $1,000 per show. Now I'm going to tell you all something, and I've never said this before, but I never believed for a moment that anybody was going to pay me a fucking dime to come on that damn show. I didn't think that they gave a rat's ass about me. I never thought that they'd be interested. But TJ Kirk got a hold of me, and we talked, and he said, look, man, he said, we're making a lot of money doing our videos. We're making a lot of money selling t-shirts. We're making money doing this. And people really like to hear this bullshit between us. So I'll pay you $1,000 is what he said. Well, $1,000 is a lot of money for a guy who's poor, and I'm poor. That's good money that you can use money to take care of your family and all that kind of shit. So all I had to do is sit there for 3 hours and take a bunch of bullshit. On a lot of incidences, most people would probably notice, if you knew me and you watched the videos, that I more likely just sat back and allowed a lot of abuse and didn't really fight for myself or defend myself at all. I didn't really fucking care. At that point, it was just about, give me my fucking money, talk your shit, and I'm gone. But people still enjoyed it. They liked watching Paul's ego get excited. They liked watching TJ yelling and getting loud. So again, I was offered again and again and again. And each time I was paid $1,000 to come on there. And at that point, by the 4th or 3rd episode, I had gotten to the point where I was like, I really don't give a rat's ass what any of these people say about me. I'm just going to sit there and take the bullshit and get paid. And trust me, my kids got a lot of nice things out of it. I even told TJ Kirk on Twitter, I said, I appreciate you having me on the show. The money that you have sent my family has really helped out the loved ones. I even made a video stating that the Amazing Atheist has paid me more money than any Christian organization or foundation or group of Christians together. I've even made videos in the past where I said that I made more money actually doing business with TJ Kirk than I have with anybody else. That didn't mean that I was okay with the negative shit that he did. It didn't mean that I was okay with him being nasty and disgusting and horrible and all that. But it did mean that I was able to help